What if I told you the Harris family tree just got hit with the kind of scandal so nuclear it makes the Kardashians look like they're running Sunday school? Buckle up, because King Harris just got busted with Boosie, and the so-called secret tape that leaked has turned the Piqua internet into an asylum without walls. This isn't just messy, this is catastrophic. We're talking about T.I., the self-proclaimed king of the South, exploding online like a shaken soda can while the world watches in real time. Forget rap beefs. Forget reality TV drama. This tape has single-handedly made every other celebrity scandal look like a kindergarten talent show. The internet didn't just react. It detonated. Memes, conspiracy theories, fake screenshots, and fans screaming, "What did I just watch?" flooded timelines faster than the Usher Super Bowl memes. People aren't even debating if the tape is real. They're too busy making TikToks about T.I. marching into court like Judge Judy with a mic, and that's just the beginning. Because what we're about to unpack isn't just a scandal. It's betrayal, it's chaos. It's hip-hop history colliding with a PR nightmare so insane that Netflix would reject the script for being too unrealistic. Welcome to Trend Tattle, where secrets don't leak. The erupt. The internet has seen its fair share of jaw-dropping scandals. We've survived the Kim K tape era. We've laughed through Tristan Thompson's endless "oops, I cheated again" tours. And we even lived through Jada Pinkett Smith casually turning her marriage into an open season podcast. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared the world for the moment King Harris' name got tangled with Boosie and his so-called secret tape leak. Let's get one thing straight. King Harris isn't new to the scandal game. The kid has practically built a career out of embarrassing his father in public. From brawling at Waffle House like it was an underground UFC ring, to ranting on Instagram Lives with the emotional stability of a Wi-Fi signal during a thunderstorm. King has always been one viral moment away from turning family dinners into PR crisis meetings. He's not just T.I.'s son, he's the internet's reckless nephew, and Boosie? Well, Boosie is basically chaos in human form. The man wakes up in the morning and chooses violence, verbal, digital, and sometimes physical. If drama had a brand ambassador, it would be Boosie. He's been banned, cancelled, and dragged more times than an old iPhone charger, yet somehow he thrives. He doesn't just survive controversy. He marathons through it. So when whispers began circulating of a tape allegedly linking King Harris and Boosie, the hip-hop world didn't gasp, it screamed. This wasn't just another messy headline. This was the type of scandal that makes TMZ editors salivate and sends group chats into overdrive. Within minutes, King Harris and Boosie were trending together. And not because of a collab track. The internet turned into a crime scene investigation unit overnight. Blurry screenshots appeared like stolen artifacts. Clips started surfacing on shady corners of Twitter only to vanish as fast as they popped up. Some swore they saw tattoos that proved it was them. Others screamed, "AI. It's AI. The robots are trying to ruin hip-hop." Suddenly, everyone was a forensic scientist. Zooming in, slowing down frames, and comparing voices like they were auditioning for CSI. Atlanta, and in the middle of the storm stood T.I., the king of the South, reduced to a furious father whose son had just dragged the family name into the dirt. Forget calm, collected tip. What the world got was T.I. at his most volcanic. Instagram Lives lit up with the rapper pacing like a caged lion, spitting legal jargon like he swallowed a law textbook. Defamation of character, legal ramifications. Y'all playing with my legacy? He was less rapper, more courtroom preacher. And the internet? They clipped every single second. One viral TikTok showed T.I. pointing into the camera with the caption, "When your dad finds the tape before you do." Another had him photoshopped into Judge Judy's robe. Gavel in one hand, mic in the other. Fans weren't just watching the meltdown. They were remixing it into content. And let's be honest, the memes were brutal. Meanwhile, King Harris went ghost. This is the same kid who usually jumps on live the second someone says his name, yelling at haters like he's auditioning for a WWE promo. But now, radio silence. And that silence was deafening. The longer he stayed quiet, the more people assumed guilt. The internet doesn't believe in innocent until proven guilty. It believes in silent until roasted endlessly. Boosie, on the other hand, didn't treat it like a scandal. He treated it like a comedy show. Instead of panicking, he hopped on live grinning, chains swinging, cracking jokes like he'd just been handed a Bet Comedy Award. Y'all trippin'. Man, I ain't worried about no tape. I'm worried about my chicken in the fryer. Fans couldn't tell if he was trolling, deflecting, or just genuinely didn't care. But one thing was clear, Boosie wasn't about to let T.I.'s thunderstorm kill his vibe. That contrast, T.I. breathing fire, King hiding, and Boosie laughing was internet gold. Fans immediately started pitting the three against each other. TikToks captioned, T.I. protecting his legacy versus Boosie protecting his vibes versus King protecting his Wi-Fi password. Twitter threads erupted with side-by-side screenshots, turning a messy situation into a cultural comedy show. But beneath the memes, there was something more dangerous brewing. This wasn't just a family embarrassment. This was a reputational crisis. T.I.'s decades-long career, built on bars, business, and respect, was suddenly being mocked in meme form. King's image as a reckless rebel went from funny to tragic, as fans questioned if he'd finally crossed the line. And Boosie? He became the wild card no one could predict. Was he dragging King down with him or just capitalizing on the chaos? The first wave of reactions hit harder than anyone expected. Blogs published think pieces. Radio stations debated it like it was breaking news. Podcasts titled episodes The Fall of King Harris and Boosie Strikes Again. YouTubers uploaded 20-minute breakdowns with thumbnails screaming, shocking tape exposed. Even celebrities began chiming in. Some shaded the situation without naming names. Others outright laughed. And that's when the story evolved from a messy rumor into a wildfire. A public spectacle, because if there's one thing the internet loves more than a scandal, it's a scandal involving legacy, family, and an iconic rapper losing his mind on Instagram. And this one? It checked every box. The Harris household was in flames. The internet was in hysteria. And everyone knew one thing, this wasn't dying down anytime soon. If the leak was the earthquake, then the aftershocks were the celebrity reactions. Because let's be honest, once famous mouths start moving, the scandal isn't just a rumor, it becomes a cultural event. And this King Harris Boosie tape saga? Oh, it had everyone from comedians to rappers to Instagram aunties clocking in for commentary. First on the mic was the loudest man in hip-hop side. Commentary Charleston White, of course. The dude never misses a chance to turn someone else's disaster into his TED Talk. He jumped on live filming like a cappuccino machine. See? I told y'all. These rap kids ain't built for this life. King out here making tapes like he trying to audition for World Star History Month. Asterisk, he didn't just add fuel to the fire. He poured gasoline, threw in fireworks, and lit the match himself. Fans clipped his rant and plastered it everywhere. Within hours, Charleston was trending alongside King and Boosie, proving once again that drama is his personal retirement plan. Then the meme tsunami hit. The internet collectively clocked out of work and clocked into drag. Twitter, X, became a digital roast session. Memes popped up comparing King Harris to Milli Vanilli, caught on tape. Credibility gone. Boosie was photoshopped into a courtroom wearing a suit 2 sizes too big with captions like, "Your Honor." My client's only crime was keeping it 100. One genius even edited T.I. into Tyra Banks' iconic, "We were all rooting for you" meltdown. The creativity was savage and nonstop. TikTok wasn't far behind. Teenagers who barely knew who Boosie was suddenly acted like they had PhDs in hip-hop scandals. They made conspiracy-laced breakdown videos with dramatic violin music in the background. Titles like, "The Tape They Don't Want You to See," flashed in red while slow-motion clips of T.I. pacing on Instagram Live looped. One girl turned Tip's angry rant into a drill beat remix and it went viral. Imagine trying to threaten lawsuits while your rant becomes a TikTok dance trend. Brutal. But it wasn't just influencers. Rap heavyweights saw the chaos and couldn't resist. Academics, the unofficial arsonist of hip-hop commentary, went live tossing gasoline on the mess. Yo, what if this is all staged? T.I. pulling a Kris Jenner move, low-key leaking the tape for clout. Suddenly, conspiracy theories took over. Was the Harris family orchestrating this for relevance? Did Boosie mastermind the leak as free promo? The internet spun faster than a hamster on Red Bull. Faster than a hamster on Red Bull. And of course, you knew 50 Cent wasn't gonna sit this one out. The King of Petty posted a photo of a furious T.I. with the caption, "Somebody get Tip a chamomile tea. Court ain't fixing this." The comments exploded. Some laughed, others begged T.I. to clap back. But most just declared, 50 won the internet again. It didn't matter if 50 knew anything about the tape. His trolling skills alone put him front and center. Even comedians got their slice. Cat Williams, mid-stand-up set, slipped in a line that went viral overnight. A Boosie and King Harris tape? Lord, even God said, delete that file, I can't watch it. Clips flooded socials before Cat even left the stage. Fans declared him the voice of reason, in a situation where reason had been buried 6 feet under, and just when people thought it couldn't spiral further. Cardi B dropped a cryptic tweet, "Y'all worry about the wrong people. This industry be wild." No names, no specifics. But the internet doesn't do subtlety. Immediately, her mentions became a battlefield. Half the fans insisted she was shading T.I., the other half begged her to spill tea. Cardi stayed silent, sipping her wine somewhere, knowing she just added jet fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, Reddit and Twitter detectives were out in full force. Forget solving crimes, these folks were busy enhancing blurry screenshots like they worked for NASA. They zoomed in on tattoos, compared wall art in the background, even debated Louisiana home decor styles to prove where the tape was filmed. One Reddit thread literally broke down the paint color on the walls as evidence. Who knew Scandal Analysis had an HGTV crossover? But while the internet played Sherlock Holmes, the Harris household was imploding. Insiders whispered about family meetings that felt more like FBI interrogations. Tiny allegedly tried to calm everyone down while T.I. paced around, threatening lawsuits against everyone from gossip blogs to random kids on TikTok. Imagine suing a 17-year-old for making a meme. That's the level of desperation flying around. Boosie, of course, leaned all the way in. He went live laughing, puffing smoke, chain glittering, basically saying, "Man, y'all mad 'cause I'm trending." To him, this wasn't a scandal, it was free promo. He treated it like a mixtape rollout. Fans couldn't decide if he was insane, brilliant, or both. T.I. protecting his dynasty, Boosie protecting his vibes, King protecting his Wi-Fi password. One viral tweet joked, but then came the twist. More clips started surfacing. Different edits, different angles, most grainier than Bigfoot sightings. Were they real? Were they fakes? Didn't matter. The public didn't care about truth, they cared about entertainment. Every new clip reignited the frenzy. The story started to feel less like a scandal and more like a streaming series. People joked this saga had more sequels than Fast and Furious. The outrage wasn't limited to memes either. Parent groups condemned King as a toxic influence. Church leaders wagged fingers. Headlines screamed, "The fall of the Harris dynasty?" Every new voice poured more gasoline on a fire that was already burning hotter than Atlanta in July. Through it all, King's silence was the loudest noise of all. Fans expected him to break his silence with a fiery Instagram rant, but instead, nothing. And in the age of instant responses, nothingness becomes suspicion. Memes popped up of King hiding from Wi-Fi or disappearing into the bush like Homer Simpson. The silence became its own meme at this point. The tape wasn't even the main character anymore. The scandal had grown legs. Influencers milked it, YouTubers dropped hour-long breakdowns, and podcasters treated it like their Super Bowl. This wasn't about whether the tape was real. It was about how deep the chaos could go, and the deeper it went, the more people realized this wasn't just a scandal. This was legacy, family, and clout colliding in a car crash the internet couldn't look away from. And when the dust settles, someone's career, someone's family name, someone's reputation is never walking away the same by now. The King Harris and Boosie tape fiasco wasn't just a scandal, it was an apocalypse for reputations. What started as a whisper grew into a storm, and when the storm cleared, the wreckage was everywhere. Families fractured, careers dented, and an internet so addicted to the mess that they refused to move on. For T.I., this was the nightmare he always feared, his carefully curated legacy drowning in meme culture. The man who once called himself the king of the South was now the king of angry Instagram lives. Fans weren't quoting his lyrics anymore. They were quoting his rants. Every clip of him yelling about legal ramifications or y'all tarnishing my legacy became audio fodder for TikTok skits. Instead of whatever you like, he was being remembered for whatever you leak. The brand damage was brutal, and make no mistake, T.I. wasn't taking it lying down. He activated the nuclear lawyer squad. Cease and desist letters flew like confetti at a graduation. Blogs got threatened, YouTubers got flagged, and even random accounts with 300 followers got warnings. Imagine waking up to find you're being legally threatened by T.I. because you reposted a meme. That's not a flex. That's desperation. But in his mind, it was war. And T.I. doesn't play small wars, he plays all-out battles. Meanwhile, King Harris was sitting in the eye of the hurricane. The silence that once looked like strategy was now being interpreted as surrender. Fans dragged him daily. Where are you at, Big Mouth? Where's the same energy from Waffle House? Don't go mute now. His persona, once the reckless, unfiltered heir to Atlanta's rap throne, now looked like a crumbled empire. Silence isn't always golden. Sometimes it's gasoline. And then there was Boosie, the eternal cockroach of controversy. Nuclear blasts don't kill him. They feed him. While T.I. raged and King hid, Boosie kept laughing, clowning, and dropping half-baked jokes on live. If anything, the scandal boosted his profile. Suddenly, younger fans who didn't even know his catalog were discovering him as the guy from the King Harris tape saga. Boosie turned a potential career killer into a marketing rollout. If chaos was cryptocurrency, Boosie was sitting on Bitcoin, but not everyone was laughing. Industry insiders started whispering that King's career was officially blacklisted. Collaborations? Cancelled endorsements? Dead invites to events? Vanished. The Harris family name had become radioactive. Nobody wanted to stand next to a scandal this big, not when cancel culture could turn on you with the speed of a trending hashtag. Insiders claimed even other rap kids distanced themselves. It wasn't clout anymore, it was contagion. And yet, despite the legal threats and public outcry, the tape's authenticity was never proven. That's the twisted beauty of scandal culture. It doesn't need to be true to ruin lives. The whispers alone were enough. People argued endlessly online. It's AI. It's real, look at the tattoo. Nah, it's edited. Lighting doesn't match. Debates raged like Reddit courtroom sessions, with fans presenting exhibits like grainy screenshots and poorly photoshopped stills. The truth was buried, but nobody cared. In 2025, perception is reality, and the perception was chaos. Then came the nuclear whispers. T.I. suing Boosie directly. Allegations of defamation, damage, exploitation. Words flying so heavy they could flatten skyscrapers. Picture this, Boosie on the witness stand, still wearing shades indoors, smirking while T.I. sits across the courtroom with a thesaurus in his lap. Fans joked it would be the trial of the century, not because of justice, but because the memes would be endless. And as the legal storm brewed, the Harris household cracked even further. Insiders claimed family dinners turned into war zones. Tiny allegedly begged T.I. to let it go, while Tip ranted about legacy and respect. King reportedly fired back at his dad, saying he cared more about optics than family. Whether true or not, the rumors alone were enough to fuel blogs for weeks. Public perception was merciless. T.I. was branded the dad who lost control. King was painted as a reckless prince who fumbled his crown. Boosie was the jester who turned courtrooms into comedy clubs. Nobody came out looking clean. And yet, paradoxically, everyone came out more famous. Because in the age of clout, scandal isn't just a curse. It's currency. Podcasts milked the saga like it was free content for the next 6 months. YouTubers turned it into multi-part series with thumbnails screaming, exposed. Documentarians whispered about turning it into a docuseries. The Harris fallout, tape, trials, and Twitter. And fans? They were addicted. This wasn't just news anymore, it was serialized entertainment. Every new twist was another episode. Every meme was another trailer, and the most haunting part? The scandal never even had closure. No proof, no clear answers, no resolution. Just wreckage, rumors, and a family scrambling to rebuild an image shattered by pixels. That's the curse of the internet. Once the story is out, you never get to put it back in the box. The toothpaste never squeezes back into the tube. The Harris dynasty, once feared and respected, was now a cautionary tale. One take can topple an empire faster than 1,000 haters. And the internet? I'm already waiting for the sequel, because if you think this was the last scandal, oh no, this is just season 1. Oh no, this is just season 1. And there it is, the kind of scandal so messy it makes reality TV look like Sunday school. King Harris tangled in a Boosie bombshell, T.I. turning into Atlanta's Judge Judy, and the internet running a 24/7 roast session like it was their civic duty. If you thought hip-hop was about bars, beats, and bling, think again. It's about lawsuits, leaked tapes, and memes that live longer than careers. But don't you dare think this saga ends here. Nope. The Harris family. Drama isn't a movie with credits rolling. It's a franchise, and sequels are already loading. Another meltdown? Another leak? Another courtroom showdown? Trust me, chaos doesn't clock out. It just takes lunch breaks. Now, here's where you come in. Smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe the way T.I. hit Go Lev on Instagram. And drop your hottest conspiracy theories in the comments. Was the tape real AI or just Boosie's genius marketing? Let's see who's brave enough to put their detective hat on. Because let's be real, this channel doesn't sleep on scandals. We expose, exaggerate, and entertain while the rest of the internet plays catch up. Tomorrow, next week, or even midnight tonight, another bombshell will drop. And when it does, you already know where it's getting shredded first. This is Trend Tattle, where secrets don't leak, they explode. And the truth is just another meme waiting to happen.